Hello, welcome. I'm glad that you're with us as we continue our chronological read through of the Bible. Well, God has given Jeremiah many messages to speak out to Judah. Now he's asking Jeremiah to speak out against those who are leading Judah astray. In other words, the false prophets who are telling Judah that everything's going to be fine. Those people were to be her shepherds, but they became false shepherds. They led Judah to destruction rather than to life, or they're leading Judah to destruction rather than to life. God promises that He's going to gather His people back together. He's going to put over them faithful shepherds. Indeed, the day will come when a righteous branch will be raised up from David's line, in whom Israel will dwell secure, because he will deal wisely and execute justice and righteousness. This branch, of course, is Jesus Christ, Messiah. Now, Jeremiah confronts the false prophets, those who are supposed to preach God's covenant and make accurate predictions, but who instead lead the people astray and spread lies. The false prophets lead Judah into idolatry, into adultery, into ungodliness. God calls them even worse than the prophets of Samaria and declares that He will destroy them. God tells His people not to listen to them, for they offer only false hope and what is in their own mind, not what is in God's mind. They do not even know God, let alone have received God's counsel. God goes on to remind Judah that He is present and that He sees their sinful acts. God has set Himself against these false prophets because He didn't send them. They're a burden to God. They will receive everlasting reproach and perpetual shame for their evil ways. Once again, God uses an illustration. This time, there's a basket of good figs and a basket of bad figs. God declares that He will be with those who go into exile. They will be His own. He will protect them. He will restore them, first to Himself and then to Jerusalem. Those who remain in Jerusalem or who have fled, actually, that first batch is the basket of good figs. But those who remain in Jerusalem or those who have fled to Egypt, He will not regard. They will receive from Him only the sword, the famine, and pestilence. That, of course, would be the basket of bad figs. The word of God comes again to Jeremiah, and he proclaims it to the people. Because they have not heard what Jeremiah has been telling them, the whole land will be laid waste, and a remnant of them will be taken captive to Babylon, or they will serve the king of Babylon. In 70 years, they will be restored to Jerusalem. It's indeed a remarkable prophecy. It's very exact. It's very defined. There's no wiggling out of that particular prophecy, that's for sure. Our reading ends with the image of the Lord pouring out His wrath as a cup of wine on not only Judah, but all the nations that have done evil in His sight. No one can escape His wrath. And as we have heard before, His wrath will be so complete that none are left to lament or even gather the dead. The Lord's judgment is complete. May God be with you and bless you. As always, I pray that our time together is helpful for you in your reading, and I look forward to gathering with you again the next time.